All right, guys. Jazz. They bounced back after an ugly 2-game skid. Tonight, it was against the Detroit Pistons and Jaden Ivey. Let's talk about the Pistons. Let's talk about the Jazz. It's the Hoops Nerd post-game show. All right, guys, before we get into this, let's just give a shout out to our sponsor. Let's see. Oh, wrong button. Let's give a shout out to our sponsor, Prize Picks, tonight. Use promo code HoopsNerd to sign up for Prize Picks. It's a lot of fun. It's become a part of my just everyday viewing experience. It's fun. Drop a little bit. Right now, you've got the 12 days of Pickmas. Today was Taco Tuesday, so you had a nice, easy pickup with Bradley Beal. So Taco Tuesdays. It's pretty fun. So anyways, go to Prize Picks. They'll match up to $100 if you use promo code HoopsNerd. Supports the channel. I would appreciate it. All right, let's talk about the Detroit Pistons. This is a fun team. Now let's bring it up. I did it wrong before, but now we're right. This Pistons team is building in a way that I would love for the Jazz to build. Let's see. Wrong one. Man, can we get anything right tonight? My goodness. All right, there we go. I love Jaden Ivey. I loved him in the draft, and tonight he showed why he is such a interesting prospect, such a fun player, and is going to have such a bright future for this Pistons team. Tonight he was just honestly fantastic. Part of that is just because the Jazz defense is just not very good. But Jaden Ivey goes for 10 for 14 from the field, 8 for 11 from the free throw line. Let's see. Moving around. And let's see, 5 assists, just a monster night for him, 30 points. He is so electric and he moves so well. And while he's on the floor, just fun things happen for this Pistons team. And so absolutely impressive stuff. What's up, Zintas? Welcome. Anyways, I just wanted to say, and then Jalen Duren has been a nice pickup for them. He is showing to be just a really nice center. Tonight, 7 for 9 from the field. 14 rebounds, 15 points. He is just a high-level, nice cornerstone center for this team, and they're going to continue to build around this team. When Cade Cunningham comes back, that's going to be just more talent. And then the thing that's pretty exciting, if you're the Pistons, is you're going to get a nice pick in this draft. We can go to Tankathon really quick and you can look at it. I mean, Cade Cunningham being out is a little scary because some sort of shin injury. That's kind of strange. So that's a little scary. But right now, Detroit has the worst record in the league. So at worst, they're getting a top 5 pick. At worst. And so when you look at that, they're getting, at worst, Brandon Miller, who is absolutely lights out in college right now. He looks like a taller, more athletic Klay Thompson. So that's what they're going to add to this team. And at some point, they need to start winning, But right now, you can just see the talent, and it's nice for them to be able to add another piece. And if they get Wembanyama to combine with Cade Cunningham and Jaden Ivey, all of a sudden you've got a three-headed dragon that's just awesome. You've got your 3 guys, and then you just fill in the blanks with free agents and stars. Guys like Bojan Bogdanovic. This has been the interesting pickup, and I actually think it's an interesting case for just Bojan and for the Pistons. Bojan's having a really nice year, and yet the Pistons have the worst record in the NBA. I think it's just some of the stuff we saw with the Jazz. The Jazz traded Bojan Bogdanovic, and it didn't really change anything. And Bojan fans can say what they want, but we talked about trading Bojan all year last year. We should have, because, yes, he puts up nice numbers. Yes, he'll put up a high percentage from 3. Tonight, 33%. A bad night for Bojan from 3 is a good night for a lot of guys. 33%. But anyways, he can't guard, and his impact on the floor is not as good as you'd want it to be. Just 3 rebounds. He did have 3 assists, but he was a minus 21. The Jazz got the better end of that deal when they traded for Olynyk and sent Bojan that way. But Olynyk's been fantastic for the Jazz, and I know he didn't play tonight. But, the Jazz haven't missed him. It's one of those stories we haven't really talked about. We talk about Donovan Mitchell, we talk about Rudy Gobert, and how the Jazz traded their 2 best players and they got better. Well, you know what? Trading Bojan Bogdanovic might have helped the Jazz because he doesn't really defend very well. He's getting older. He doesn't do a lot in terms of shooting free throws, so he's not like an elite scorer. He's just a high efficiency scorer. And sometimes there's a difference. And so, some people may think, oh man, we really miss Bojan Bogdanovic. Do we? Do we? I don't think at any point this season has anyone been like, oh, I wish Bojan Bogdanovic was on this team. And that's the thing is, the Utah Jazz continue to have one of the elite offenses in the NBA. So, go here really quick. I actually, let's do team. Oh no. Okay, we'll do that. But anyways, let's go here. So, without Bojan Bogdanovic, the Jazz still have one of the elite defenses in the NBA. Let's put this up really fast. Offensive rating. Look at that. Number 4 in the NBA. Are we missing Bojan Bogdanovic? No, because sometimes it's not just about efficiency shooting. People will look at Basketball Reference. They'll go to NBA.com stats, cleaning the glass, wherever, and you just look at the efficiency numbers and you think, oh, he's just an elite player. Well, it's not really doing a lot for everyone else. Yes, he spreads the floor, but the Jazz got rid of Bojan Bogdanovic and are now a much better offensive team. And so I don't think that's coincidence. Defensively, they're still terrible. The Jazz are just terrible defensively. Still at that 25 spot, so bottom 5 defense in the league. But offensively, they haven't missed a beat. Number 4 in the league. Pretty crazy. So anyways, there's me trashing Bojan Bogdanovic. Sorry. Let's talk a little bit about the Jazz now. The Jazz got a win. They'd lost 2 before this with pretty bad losses, especially, last game was so depressing. I'm glad we had a back-to-back. Normally I'm get tired of the back-to-backs because they wear me out, but I was just kind of glad to get the taste out of my mouth from that game yesterday, and it just was a reminder how sucky last season was and how fun this season has been. It's just nice that the Jazz got a nice win too and showed what they had. The big story for this one was Lauri Markkanen, who is just getting better and better and better. It's really fun to watch how good Lauri Markkanen is becoming. Tonight, 35 minutes, scored 38 points. Just an elite shooting night from 3. This is the thing that will take him to another level because we've seen all the things he can do where he drives to the rim, he can score inside, he's a good cutter. He's having Mike Conley feed him on his cuts and things like that. When this 3-point shot is falling, he's almost unguardable because he's so tall and has a nice high release that, unless they have an elite tall wing defender, he's usually going to get his shot off. And that's kind of what happened tonight. 13 for 20 from the field. And that's what's been so fun watching Markkanen too, is just seeing all the different elements of his game that we didn't know he had. And maybe no one else at all until he played for Finland in Eurobasket. But he goes 13 for 20 from the field, 9 for 13 from 3. Just incredible efficiency. And he's putting his stamp on a bid to the All-Star game. I think he has a real shot. In fact, let's go look at this real quick. So they have forwards and guards. Let's see. Go to standings. They do forwards and guards for the All-Star team. And so you've got to consider who's he beating out if he's going to make the All-Star team. Ja Morant is going to go in as guard. Denver Nuggets, obviously, he's not going to beat out Jokic. But I don't think there's anyone on the Nuggets that's out after Jokic is beating him out. Devin Booker is a lock for guard. New Orleans Pelicans, Brandon Ingram just hasn't really played enough this year to really be warranted a spot over Markkanen. So there's a spot that he could possibly make it. The Clippers, you have Kawhi Leonard, who's back, but he hasn't played most of the season. Same with Paul George. They've missed half or most of the season. So I think in terms of missing games, I think Markkanen has a real shot. Sacramento Kings, he's not getting beat out by any. I want to be sure. Yeah, am I missing someone? Herder's having a nice year, but he's not beating out Markkanen. Let's see. You go to Portland, and you could talk about maybe Jeremy Grant, who's having a nice season, but I think you could argue Markkanen's been a focal point of the Jazz offense. Minnesota, there's no wing there. I guess you would argue Anthony Edwards. It'll be interesting to see if Anthony Edwards is a guard or a wing, but I'm guessing he's going to go in as a guard. He's not beating out Luka. Luka's having an all-time year. Fan vote might go to Klay Thompson, but no one's taking Klay Thompson over Markkanen this year, so he gets it over Klay. You might see Draymond Green over Markkanen. We'll see. He's not getting it over LeBron James just because it's LeBron. And Anthony Davis is probably a lock this year. He did get injured again, though. And so that's something to watch. Does he miss enough games that it just doesn't count? Honestly, Anthony Davis going down with injury really helps Markkanen, because Anthony Davis 2 weeks ago was looking like an absolute lock. Now that he's out and he had a rough kind of beginning to the season, Markkanen might get in. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is having an elite season. He's going to make the All-Star team, but he's probably going in as a guard. And then who else in these teams? So I honestly, even going it now, and I'm probably missing a few guys, I think Markkanen's making the All-Star team, guys. That's pretty exciting. That's pretty cool. Would any of you have expected, after getting rid of Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert, that Lauri Markkanen would be going to the All-Star game? I certainly did not. And maybe it's because I didn't do enough homework on who Markkanen was and his game and things like that. But he's turning into just a really nice 3-level scorer, does all those things, and he plays defense and rebounds the ball. Tonight, 5 rebounds is not super spectacular, but it's enough. Vanderbilt had a monster night, by the way. But he's, I'm just really impressed with Lauri Markkanen, and every Jazz fan should be really happy with what he's doing, because he's just evolving, and I think he's getting better and better. It feels like Chicago really stunted his growth as a player, and in Cleveland, he kind of found himself again, and Utah got him at the perfect time. And I mentioned this last video. I don't know if a lot of you watched it, but Markkanen, to me, really looks like he can turn into like the number 2 guy on a championship team. I don't know if he's a number 1. I don't think that he is that high or low, but I do think he can be a top 20 guy for sure. Maybe even top 15 if he just keeps, if he's putting up numbers like this, why not? But to me, he kind of reminds me of that. What Markkanen could be for the Jazz is kind of that role that Chris Middleton plays for the Bucks, where if you can get just an elite guy next to him and Markkanen can play off of him and continue this growth, that's exciting. And I think he can definitely do that and hit some big shots in big games. Zintas, All-Star voting started now, I believe, so start voting. Jared Vanderbilt, monster night again. This is another story that's getting really fun. 7 for 13 from the field. The thing that was interesting last game that they really struggled was spacing, but tonight, Vanderbilt takes 4 threes, and he shot them with confidence, and he knocks down both of them. That's really exciting. Look at these numbers, by the way. These are just, he's flirting with triple doubles now, almost every game. 18 points, 13 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 steals. He just does a little bit of everything. And 2 for 4 from 3, this is where you get really excited. Because if he can sit in that corner, here's the thing with Vanderbilt. If he can be in the corner, it's not just the fact that he can knock down a 3-point shot. It's the fact that he can, 1, hit the shot if they give it to him and he's open. That's a big deal. But then that means they have to respect it, and that opens the floor for everyone else. The other thing with Vanderbilt is he's a good ball handler. So let's say he's on the 3-point line and they come out and he can drive to the hoop. Then all of a sudden you've got multiple options. Dunk the ball. If the weak side shot blocker comes at you, then you just dump it off to Kessler or Olynyk or whoever, and you've got easy dunks. It's really exciting what Jared Vanderbilt is doing, and you can see what the Jazz are kind of figuring it out. This crossroads the Jazz are in right now, and I know it's the Detroit Pistons. They suck, but it's nice to see them doing this, and can they continue to develop this? It's really interesting. I'm not quite sure what the Jazz are going to do next. There's team tank and there's team trade for a star, and there's kind of the idea that maybe you just kind of develop and hope that one of these huge amount of picks you have, you find a stud that fits what the Jazz need. I don't know, but I think we're kind of finding out that this Jazz team really needs to hold on to 1, Lauri Markkanen, Walker Kessler, and if they are trading Jared Vanderbilt, that has been a rumor, they need to get something for him, because this is just some big time stuff. It really is. Jordan Clarkson has been the most. I wrote about this in the SLC recap. Actually, let's talk about Walker Kessler. Walker Kessler is just becoming such a consistent, dominant center, and it's such a wealth of riches the Jazz have in terms of depth that they can lose Kelly Olynyk, and then Walker Kessler can step in and do such a nice job. 9 rebounds, 10 points in just 27 minutes. He blocked 2 shots. He's just an absolute stud protecting the rim. Just a lot of fun. And so it's just really cool to see Walker Kessler figuring it out. We haven't really seen a rookie wall with him, At some point midway through the season, you start to see a rookie wall where players kind of realize, oh my goodness, I didn't know athletes were this athletic in the NBA. And he hasn't really seen that. So this is kind of a remarkable season for him. Key himself, $2, my man. Thank you so much. Key, you bring the heat every time. You're the dad I never had because my mom is a fool. Well, thank you, son. Thank you, son. Thank you. I guess I'm a priest. Bless you, my son. Bless you. He himself. Jordan Clarkson, I wanted to say this. It's one thing that I love so much about Jordan Clarkson is one, just he's such a joy. You know, we talked about yesterday how much just like there's just nothing fun about yesterday. Jordan Clarkson brings joy to our lives. He just absolutely brings joy to my life, to yours. He is such an easy player to root for, such a great guy. Everything about him makes you happy. And he's playing really well. He's been the most, I don't think he's missed more than a game or two this season. He has been the most consistent player for the Jazz. And the fact that he's also evolved along with Markkanen and Vanderbilt. He's 7 for 15 from the field, 3 for 7 from 3. 6 assists tonight and 21 points. Just fantastic. It's just so much fun to watch him play. He does something fun every night. Tonight he was jawing with a fan in the stands, and I don't know. I love that guy. I really do. It's fun to have guys that I just really love and enjoy rooting for. And, you know, normally I'm pretty cold-hearted with this stuff, and I'm fine just trading. I would be pretty heartbroken if the Jazz trade Jordan Clarkson. I would understand it, but I really hope they don't, because he makes being a Jazz fan fun. Mike Conley is still kind of struggling. I think he's really laboring from his recovery from his. Although tonight it looked a little better, 7 assists. I think he's been laboring since his injury, and that's what happens when you're, 36 and you come off an injury and you have to play against, the Jaden. Jaden Ivey's what, 21, 22, and he's just an athletic marvel. And Mike Conley's 36. That's hard to do. That's really hard to do, So it's just hard to recover. And so it'll take him a little time. When he's right, he's been fantastic this year. But 7.7 assists from Mike Conley is pretty standard floor for him. And he should only get a little bit better. When we talk about Rudy Gay, he's bad. The only reason they play him, and I feel like I do have to say this, the reason they play him, and look, the funniest thing is he's a plus 30, highest plus minus. It's because of the defense. He does bring defense, and I think we've talked about this before. Some of the highest one of the biggest and best defensive not the biggest, one of the best defensive duos in the NBA is actually Walker Kessler and Rudy Gay. When they are on the floor together, the Jazz have a really nice defensive rating. That's something interesting that they have been doing, and that's one reason why their bench has been so good. The only thing is that when Rudy Gay shoots the ball, it is just bad. Offensively, he is just not good. Defensively is where he's good, and that's something worth watching as a fan. But man, offensively, it is rough. I mean, he had that one shot. He took like a little 8-footer, and it went. It just banged off the backboard like a bullet at an arrow at a target range, and it looks bad, and I don't think he has it. Harold, well, hello from Philippines, Harold. But anyways, it's just not great. 2 for 7 from the field, 1 for 2 from 3. That's nice, I guess, but plus 30. So I don't know what that tells you. I think it does tell you that his defense is helpful. Offensively, he's not. It's really bad. And sometimes he takes shots outside of the offense that really disrupts things, and I don't like it. One of the calling cards of this team is that they move the ball and they find the best shot. And when you're not doing that, and when you have someone like Rudy Gay who's just taking shots out, not great. It's just not very fun watch. But you can understand with the defense. Nickeil Alexander-Walker, not a great night for him in terms of shooting. I thought he'd be better. He's had so many good nights tonight. He did not. Let me down in the prize picks. I'll just say that. But anyways, you know what? It's fun to watch him develop, though, and if he can just get better and better, and maybe this is just him having a tough night. Maybe the back end of a back-to-back really hit him hard tonight. I don't know, but he was a plus 12. I think that's about it, guys. This was a fun, nice bounce-back win for the Jazz. Let's just check the standings. The Jazz helped themselves by knocking Minnesota back into the lottery, I guess. They are now on a 1-game winning streak. Minnesota, without Rudy Gobert and without Karl Anthony Towns, are a better team, apparently. It's kind of wild. Anthony Edwards has been absolutely bonkers. I thought this team would continue to lose. They haven't. So we'll see what happens with the Wolves. It would be nice if they'd consider that I want a better draft pick, but they don't seem to think about that very much. And then let's finally do our sim. So you can see here with tonight's win, that knocks Minnesota down to 14. Let's see. We're going to see what we get. Oh, bam. There we go. Charlotte gets the number 1. Chicago keeps their pick and gets probably Scoot Henderson. Wow. And then LA gives their pick to New Orleans, the stupid Lakers. Just the biggest bunch of moron idiots you will ever come across is the Los Angeles. All right, guys, let's give a shout out to our All-Stars, shall we? I want just give a big thank you to all you All-Stars, guys. It's a long season, and you guys supporting the channel makes me very happy. I appreciate it very much. What we're going to do, pull this up. I should have pulled this up again, but I didn't. But man, has it been a fun season so far. There's been ups and downs. The Jazz have kind of come back to earth a little bit. We are 2 games above 500 now, 18-16. So this Jazz team is figuring it out. Let's see. All right, let's do this. It's Built Ford Tough, Alexander Tufts, Ryan Perry, the legend, Jared Chanderbilt, Chantheric, Jorge Arrizaga, mi amigo de Baco, Baby Elliott Matson, Jordan the Goat Bessroll, Just Buckets JB, Zap Watts, Ryder for SLC Donk, Total Game Domination TGD, Christian House Money to Haas, Tyson Price, The Price is Right, X marks the spot for Zintas. Thank you for being in the chat tonight, Zintas. Joshua Hansen, the Danish Destroyer, Ezekiel Raicive, the man from Down Under, Austin R. Grant, Editor Extraordinaire, Donald Schooley, schooling all of us, DW to CB, Darren Williams to Carlos Boozer, Petra Kukubo, the Connoisseur, and Robert, Hall of Fame. Whoa, Zintas, $20. Whoa, Merry Christmas to you, Zintas. Merry Christmas, James. Take this 20 and go fill up your gas tank. Gas prices still suck here in Utah. Well, Zintas, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. That's amazing. Thank you, Zintas. You don't have to do it, but I appreciate it very much. You guys are amazing. And speaking of Christmas, I'm going to work so hard on this new video. It's almost done. For those of you that are here and listening, I recreated John Stockton's shot in a fun way. And I'm really close to finishing. I have a few more Rockets players to tweak. It's been fun. I just let the cat out of the bag, but it's coming, and it should be a lot of fun. But Zintas, thank you so much. Merry Christmas to you. I hope all of you have an incredible Christmas this week. It's less than a week. It's Christmas. Maybe the Jazz can get a Christmas present. Maybe we can get a nice trade for Christmas. What do you guys think? All I want for Christmas is a nice trade. Maybe John Collins, but thank you, Zintas. Thank you again. I really appreciate it. You're amazing. Thank you, sir. All right, guys. I will talk to you next time. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, especially if you're a Jazz fan. You can support the channel, become an all-star by joining. Just hit the button below. I think I'm pointing to it. I don't know. And then if you want to, you can go sign up for Prize Picks. It's a lot of fun. Go sign up for the 12 days of Pickmas. It's Taco Tuesday today. It's a lot of fun. Use promo code HoopsNerd. It supports the channel. I will talk to you guys next time.